Hello, this is T Mentor Food. How's everyone doing today? Great. As you all know, if you've been watching my videos, I am on a healing journey and I am healing from narcissistic abuse. For many years, I was a target for the narcissist. For many years, I was in situations that I was always vulnerable to, and based on me being vulnerable, I wound up being the supply or the food for the narcissist. So today, this video is about do not be confused about what you went through. The thing about being abused is that there's cycles to it. You know, cycles of you're being abused, you're not really having any clarity about that abuse, and also of you being in denial. You know, being in denial about what happened to you, being in denial about you waking up to the truth of what happened to you. So I know that for me, you know, before I was waking up, I started to receive certain things that I didn't really want to receive. I started seeing things that I really didn't want to see. I started feeling things in my spirit that I really didn't want to feel. And that was in regards to the people that I was dealing with was not right, or the narcissist or the clan of narcs that I was dealing with was not right, or that they were just time wasters. They were wasting my time. Or let me better phrase that. Let me say I was allowing them to waste my time. And as I started recognizing certain things, I knew that this was not a position that I didn't want to be in anymore. My sister, she's a narcissist. She used to just call me up after work. When she just get off work, she would call me up and she would talk to me all the way until she got home. And the moment she got home, she was like, "Oh, I'm home now, so I'll talk to you later. I'll call you later." She wouldn't call me later. So it was like she was using me to have someone, using me for, you know, someone that she could talk to on the way home from work. Well, my time is more valuable than that. I don't want to be used for 30 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes or however long it takes you to get home. And then once you're home, then it's like, okay, bye, see you later. So when those little things like that is happening, don't be confused about what you've been through. Also, when I had money one time, my dad's wife, she's a narcissist. I call her the King Cobra narcissist because she was like the main narcissist in my life. And when I had money, she was my best friend. I mean, she was calling me every day, all day, laughing, just the whole 9 yards. And each time we had a conversation, every week she would call me and she would ask for money. So I would give her like $300-400 every week, right? And so when I needed something, you know, when I needed to feed my kids, when me and my kids were homeless and we were sleeping in our car, just hanging out in the park all day, not able to eat or no food, no money, no nothing, I would call her up and ask her, and she would say she didn't have no more money. I would ask her like for $40 and she'd say she don't have no money. And she was telling me, well, just go to the grocery store and tell them you don't have no food. They'll feed you. You know, just telling me stupid advice or giving me stupid advice like that so I could go to the grocery store and get my kids taken away from me, you know. So it was just all this type of games that this person was playing with me when I was in a time of need. She wasn't there for me. And so narcissists are like that. When you need them, they're not there for you. When you don't need them, they're always around you, trying to confuse you, trying to do something. So this is the things, like when you're coming out, do not forget these things. You forgive these people, but you don't forget the lessons and the trainings that you've gotten from them. Also, my ex-husband, he was so controlling. He didn't want me hanging out with my sister or anything like that. But now I know why he didn't want me hanging out with my sister, because him and my sister was messing around with each other. Because my sister was always doing for him versus me. She wouldn't do anything for me. If I asked her for money, she would tell me no. Now, mind you, my husband and I, we are living together. He would call her up and ask her for money, and she would say yes to him and bring the money over and drop it off and put it in his hands. So when those type of things keep happening to you or happen to you while you were in this abusive situations, remember those things. Remember, you forgive those people, but you remember what you went through, so as to not confuse yourself as to what you went in. Because we're empaths. Empath ones, we always believe for the best. We always believe for the better in people. But sometimes we cannot believe for the better in people that have taken advantage of us, that have used us, and that have abused us. So we cannot be confused in those areas. We have to know within our knower what we've gone through, and what we went through was real. And we cannot forget what we went through. We cannot make it like it never happened. Yes, we forgive, because I'm a believer, and I know that what God says in his word, that we have to forgive those that trespass against us. You forgive those people and you let it go. You don't talk about what they've done to you, but you don't forget the lessons that you were taught, that you learned while you were around these dark-spirited, negative, energy-draining vampires. Do not forget what you learned from them. My sister and my ex-husband, they messed around so much to whereas the people in the whole town that we lived in were coming to me and telling me or asking me, what's up with your husband and your sister? Her boyfriend was coming to me. My husband and our friends were coming to me and asking me what was up with them. People were coming to me and telling me, oh, your sister and your ex-husband were over my house last night. So many people were coming up and telling me what was going on in regards to my ex-husband and my sister. So those scenarios were real because people, they confirmed it for you. If you had it in your spirit or something was going on or something didn't feel right, those other people are confirmation that what you were feeling was correct. It was the truth. So when you are becoming out of narcissist abuse, when you're coming out, you got to remember those things. Do not be confused by what your feelings told you and people in your community have confirmed to you as to what was going on with you while you were in the dark cave of the narcissist. It took me many years, but I finally realized that my sister used me in so many ways. I'm her younger sister. She's older than me. She took advantage of me in regards to, she introduced me to my husband, but what came to me now that I'm waking up is that she introduced me to him because she really wanted him, but at the time she was dating his friend, so she couldn't go and be with him, and her girlfriend was dating my ex-husband at that particular time. But instead of her telling me, he's already dating my friend, she hooked me up, set me up to go out with this man that she knew was with her friend. And so I didn't know, I'm the new woman in town. I didn't know anything. So she's like, hey, I want to set you up with somebody, go out with him. He's a nice guy. And so I go out with him, and I didn't even know that was her friend's boyfriend at the time. They were dating. So she was doing little shiesty stuff like that, but what came to me is she did that so she can get him, because in reality she really wanted him, but she used me to get him and to keep him, and it was just crazy because the moment I was dating him, then her and him were doing just all kind of stuff behind my back. So don't forget those things. You forgive the people, forgive them, pray for them, bless them, and move on. But you don't forget what you went through and what they took you through. And so so you don't be confused. You remember the lesson. You remember what you've gone through. You don't forget it, but you don't hold on to it, whereas it's ruining your life too. But you have to stay in the present moment and not allow yourself to be confused. So I hope this video has helped someone. We are on a great journey. We are on a great journey of discovering ourselves, and we are on a journey of finally living for who we were created to live for. We're finally able to, by God's grace, to walk in our gifts and walk in our talents. And so by doing that, we have to remember all the good that we're learning through all our bad experiences. And we also have to know that now we are taking back ground that the enemy has stolen from us for so many years. And based on us taking back ground that the enemy has stolen from us, we must be very vigilant on who we allow into our life. And we have to pay attention to the signs of who is around us. By having experienced this time, we have to wake up and know better. So I hope this video has helped someone. Like, subscribe, share, and please leave your emotional food story. I would love to hear your food story. And remember, you are important enough to